Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. So today we've got loads of tuber gifts, we've got an abundance of video games, we've got a gender questionable toy, and of course we've got some shout outs. So please stick around. So before we get stuck into stuff, I just really wanted to do a very quick couple of channel updates. The first one is just to say that I'm going to be on a live stream next Thursday, which is Thursday the 4th of November. It's going to be 8 PM UK time, and it's on James Jarvis's channel, which is called It's Much More. I'll leave details below in the description, but it's going to be really focused around the Evercade VS. There's going to be myself, Al from Games Re-Up, there's going to be John from Crazy Burger, there's also Andy from UK Crowd Gaming, and we've got a really special guest that James has managed to sort through, Alistair Lowe, and Alistair is the creator of Flea that's on, I think it's the Evercade Indie Heroes cart, but a really cool game, very addictive game, so it should be lots of fun. If you're around, please hold the date, come and join us. And yeah, if you've got questions, there'll be opportunities galore, I'm sure, through the live chat. So yeah, come along and join in the excitement. And the second update is really around Let's Get Physical. So I've done, must be nearing about 20 episodes now. So every fortnight I focus on something a bit different. Obviously it's in the name, it's something physical. It's still the proverbial fingers up to digital. And yeah, I've got one more to film. And then pretty much the schedule for this year is done. I'll probably have a little break from that part of my channel early next year, just as I kind of plan and do a little cheesy schedule for 2022. So yeah, one more to film. So there's probably a handful more to come out this year, some more Star Wars related stuff, some old Toy Story bits, some hair accessories, a bit random. But yeah, all under the banner of fabulous, nostalgic, wonderful, awesome stuff. So yeah, keep checking out those vids. I tend to keep them fairly short, just 2 to 3 minutes, to really just focus on just showing you what it's about. Hopefully a few of the things you've got kind of a bit nostalgic memories of from back in the day. So yeah, leave comments, let me know what you think, and yeah, it might help me kind of shape what I do with it next year. And that's the updates. So I'm sitting here feeling particularly fortunate. I've got a nice stack of games and bits in front of me that have been kind of given or I bought from other tubers or traded, etc. From 3 tubers in particular. I'm going to put details to their channels as always in the description below. So if for some crazy reason you don't subscribe, check out their content, and I'm sure just by watching a video or two, if you don't already subscribe, by the end of it you'll be signing up for that free content. So the first individual was I guess, yeah, part of celebrating a fantastic 400 sub milestone. They did a giveaway and I was megally lucky enough to win it, and that individual is Lee, aka the Nerdy Geezer. I've been following his channel pretty much since I got into gaming on YouTube. Earlier on in the year, he's been, I've got to say, a kind of tremendous support to me, to my channel. Always given shout outs galore when I started off. As always, it's a bit of an uphill kind of battle. The algorithm, whatever it is bloody going against you, and you're dependent on the community, a good network of people to share your content, give you some encouragement, and and kind of get you going, give you a bit of a nudge. And that's exactly what Lee did, as well as some other people. I had some tremendous help, but yeah, Lee was one of those early people that kind of linked up with me and helped me along. So yeah, chuffed to see his channel grow. I'm sure we'll very quickly work through the milestones. He's doing some fantastic stuff at the moment, on his own channel, but then live streams with other people. Very active, positive individual. So yeah, can't speak any more highly of him. But most importantly for me, the giveaway was this. So yeah, so it's a special edition Funko Pop werewolf. I wasn't aware of this kind of style, but it's like the 8-bit style, because 8-bit kind of 3D style, obviously so it's the werewolf from Altered Beast, obviously the one on the Master System, but also on the Mega Drive. But yeah, it is kind of in the werewolf kind of morphed mode. But yeah, really nice. Like I say, a bit of a special edition job. I've got a few Funko Pop things. I don't go like crazy because I haven't got the space, but you know, special ones such as this and perhaps a handful of others, yeah, go down a treat. So massively pleased to win that. So thank you, Lee. But it didn't just stop there. He chucked in a sneaky little game as well, Rocket League, which I haven't yet played. I was hoping last weekend I'd get around to giving it a go, but yeah, this weekend's probably more likely, a bit less on the social stack, so I can get involved in the game stack and try this one up. I've heard really good things about it, so yeah, cheers, Lee. Really appreciate that. The next one was off the back of, I think it was the most recent swap shop, but Dale was on there, Daley Retro, and as you can probably see from behind me, and as you probably can't see because it's kind of tucked away also below, I'm really working through, it's absolute lunacy, but yeah, trying to get as many 3DS games as possible, and I've got probably a lot of the tastier titles, and last year through lockdown and other things I picked up some bundles, even some light auctions. I got some big amounts of games for pretty good, you know, good value, particularly when you divvy it up, you know, the cost per game. Again, that gave me a good kind of foundation. Since then I've just been on the 3DS case, so I've been yeah, just grabbing as many as I can. Dale had a few, and there was one which I was convinced that I had, but my memory is so shockingly bad that as I was watching the swap shop, I loaded up my phone and I didn't have it. So it's Nickelodeon's TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, again, haven't played with most of these. It's kind of digital software and the rest of it. Where's good old manuals? Bloody miss them. But yeah, lovely, really nice condition. And I think it was it Steve Cooper's World? He picked up another DS game or 3DS game from Dale, the same one. I think it was one of the Star Fox games, one of the Starwing games, and again, super condition. So I knew this already from watching Dale's videos, but he keeps his stuff in pucker condition, and yeah, it's a beauty. So thank you, thanks Dale for that. And then from the final tuber, a guy who I'd met before, one of the few tubers I've met in person. Not that I'm antisocial, just because of COVID and geography and other lame, crappy excuses, but Rodgy Retrogamer. So I was in the good old Games Hunter last weekend, and yeah, bumped into him. I was kind of looking through some games, and I heard a recognisable voice, and then yeah, behind me, turned around, there was Rodgy and his missus and his son, Harry X and Buttercup. So the whole fam were there, and yeah, we had loads of chatting for about an hour or so, having some good banter, which was cool. And he was obviously heading towards the Master System section, and yeah, so we spoke about a few things, but one of them I said, look, I'm building up my Master System collection. Also, he's doing a fabulous like A to Z of the Master System at the moment. He's quite a way through. I think has he hit the S's? I'm sure Shinobi's popped up. Maybe the T's, the transport, definitely the S's. But yeah, if you haven't seen that series, go and check it out. It just speaks from his heart, from his kind of experience, from his love of games. It's just, yeah, fantastic. One take, but just incredibly done. One of the best storytellers on the tubes. And yeah, so we're talking about Master System. He said he had a few little extras and bits. And yeah, in the beginning of the week, he sent me a picture and said, oh, have you got any of these? And there was 3 that I needed, and the nice chap that he is, via Buttercup, who did his postal service for him, yeah, chucked me these ones. So there's 3 games. Rescue Mission, which is super cool. I remember seeing this in like the local video game shop when I first got my Master System, and I opted for, kind of glad I did at the time. Where, like I say, I haven't played this Shinobi. My dad was like, which one do you want? And I went for Shinobi. So Shinobi was the first kind of Master System game I had, apart from the built-in ones. But I do remember seeing this one. I was like, oh, how would it have played? So now I get to find out. So thank you, Rodgy, for that. And also a cheeky shmup. We've got Galaxy Force, which yeah, again, I haven't haven't played, but look forward to getting stuck into that. And then we've got a bit of aggression on the guy's face. It looks a bit peed. Dynamite Duke. Again, you know, meant to be a classic, but I have never played. I haven't played any of these three. So yeah, Dr. Neil Ash, once a highly respected scientist, is a now wanted man. Awesome stuff. Dynamite Duke. Yeah, Duke Frederick, a war hero for bionic right arm. Well, hey, I'm looking forward to that one. So yeah, some amazing gifts from 3 amazing tubers. So details below, go and check out their channels. So something a bit different for the channel. I don't normally go through, you know, DVDs and Blu-rays. Might be like a couple of exceptions on previous videos, but because these for me, some of them link to my Let's Get Physical series, but all of them bar one I carry, you know, a fair bit of nostalgia for. You know, having watched this stuff, you know, back in the day as a kid, growing up after school on weekends, whatever. And I don't really, again, because of space, I don't go crazy for actually buying DVDs and Blu-rays, so I can be a bit of a picky sod as to what I get and what I don't. But yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I know kind of free time is precious for everyone, but I had a few hours on a Saturday and I literally just hit every charity shop, CEX, cash converters, around kind of Southend. So I did about 2-3 hours just kind of clawing around, and these are some of the spoils from that. And these, yeah, this is first one's just blooming awesome. 2 words to describe it, blooming awesome. But no, Mask, the complete series on a gazillion DVDs. If you've seen my recent Rubik's Link challenge, the guy at CEX had to put these in. He faced even more of a challenge because it's, yeah, squeezing them in the box. But apart from the first one, which is still, it's not scratched or anything, a few little marks, I don't think the others have actually been touched. But yeah, if you've watched one of the early Let's Get Physical episodes, I loved not just the Mask cartoon as a kid, but collecting the toys, you know, the vehicles, everything apart from the big play set Boulder Hill, which was the petrol station. If you ever watched it, or had the toys, my mum and dad pretty much kept all of my other things within the loft, and they moved early on in the year. They moved out of Southend, so they sorted through everything in the loft, and I kind of reclaimed a lot of toys. So grabbed my Mars stuff back and really getting into it again. I mean, watching a few of these on YouTube, but yeah, wanted to. So when I saw the DVD, and it wasn't how much it wasn't about £5 or something. Yeah, I thought I'd grab it. I'm pretty sure it's done by like a French animation studio, because even the like the what should be kind of robotic voices or the computers do sound more like French people, which is quite funny. But yeah, absolutely classic intro music, really good kind of just premise to it all, with the good guys, the Mask guys versus Venom. You know, Miles Mayhem, the evil kind of Tash guy that's in Switchblade, which kind of helicopter, which then kind of converts into a plane. It's just, yeah, really kind of innovative stuff. Quite simple. It's quite simple in terms of you know, animation, because I think a lot of these kind of, what is it, 80s, yeah, mid 80s cartoons were, but very, very watchable and enjoyable. Like I say, the theme tune alone just gets me gets the heart racing, for nostalgic reasons, nothing else. So that's number 1. Everyone will know about this one, but yeah, Transformers. So I don't know how many series they did, but this is, yeah, it's kind of complete season 1. And yeah, again, I kind of watched these. I don't remember much of the individual kind of episodes and stuff. I think since then, most of the Transformers I've watched is mainly through some of the films, so the Michael Bay ones, like the early ones, or through massively rewatching the cartoon Transformers the movie, with like You Got the Touch. There's so many good tunes in there, and absolutely love, you know, Optimus Prime and Megatron and Galvatron, Bumblebee, the whole blooming gang are in that movie, and hopefully in here as well. And just looking at the back, I think is it Grimlock, and you've got a couple of the Dinobots there. So yeah, gonna get stuck in, try and hypnotise my son into enjoying it too. So that's that. Do you remember this one? Mysterious Cities of Gold. I think it was set. Was it the 1500s or the 16th century? A group of kids trying to find the one of the mysterious cities of gold. And there was like a golden condor. Another really cheesy but lovable kind of intro tune. I'm gonna open this one again. There's like so many DVDs. 39 episodes. So yeah, Esteban, Teo and Zia set out on an adventure across the Americas to find the mysterious cities of gold. And there's Esteban, a Spanish orphan who can command the sun. Yeah, pretty cool. If you remember this, which I'm assuming a few of UK, perhaps European folk will do, then yeah, chuck us a little comment below, good, bad, or indifferent, on what you thought. Maybe it will be a load of crud now I rewatch it, but hopefully not. And this one as well, another kind of after school favourite for me, and a very I don't think I've ever seen like a DVD case quite like it. But anyway, but yeah, Dogtanian, the complete adventures of Dogtanian. See the three Musker Hounds, broadcast from the CBBC. Broom Cupboard, 1985. Yeah, loved it. Absolutely loved it. Is it like, I'm trying to think, is that Juliet? Oh, I used to get a bit red in the cheeks when he was chatting with her. Hey ho. Yeah, good stuff. So that was cool. Sticking with animations, I haven't seen these two. But it's obviously, it's a bit of a, I mean, particularly in Japan, these are kind of huge. They're still going on to today. I think it's some of the biggest toy line as well, and some of the model kits. But this goes back to the kind of the origins of it. So these are, I think it's the complete first season of the first cartoon. Some of you may know it better than others, but yeah, Gundam. So Mobile Suit Gundam, which was the first cartoon series. But like I say, I think pretty much every year I think they've been releasing stuff on big scale. I think there's like, I don't know if there's like a theme park, there's any theme rides out in Japan linked to this. It's almost a little bit before Transformers, so I'm sure, and don't quote me on it, but one would like to think it's probably inspired a lot of other, you know, robotic related cartoons and bits like that. But yeah, these are kind of sealed. They're quite pricey. But these two I did actually get. These weren't from my walk around. These were from eBay, and I did a cheeky offer, and it pretty much worked. I got both for the not far off the same price that most people were selling them individually. But I didn't want to get one part without the other, and equally I wanted to get both in the same style. So the Blu-ray ones look pretty neat. But I'll report back on my thoughts on those ones. And then finally, this is a special edition which turned up this week. Got it from Amazon. It's one of my favourite films ever. I'm not exaggerating. One of them, certainly in my top 5. It is my favourite horror film. Probably this, then Halloween. And a lot of you may not have heard of it, but it's Deep Red. So it's an Italian film by the director Dario Argento. In Italian, it's called Profondo Rosso. What year is it? 70s. So yeah, 1975. Yeah, kind of don't want to. There are lots of kind of spoilers as you, lots of reveals as you kind of go through the film. So I wouldn't want to spoil anything, but I really do highly recommend it. You know, there's a series of murders. It's, you know, it's a whodunit. There's a bit of a flamboyant detective who David Hemmings from Blow Up, and he's trying to find the murderer. The guy clearly, like in most horror films, he has no common sense, so he does most of his searches at night. He creeps around, you know, haunted houses. He goes into places with loads of, you know, clowns and puppets, and the soundtrack is absolutely awesome. It's from a band called the Il Goblini, so the Goblins, who do a lot of the Dario Argento films. He did the original Suspiria, so that was re-released obviously through it was different director recently, but he did the original one for that. But this for me is probably one of the, certainly his best. But like I say, it's just a tremendous film. Very, like, loads of suspense, loads of gore, a proper like murder mystery, amazing kind of U-turns and little kind of flips on twists on stuff, and yeah, really good, really good. And that's it for the DVDs and Blu-rays. So moving on, next up we got the games and a few like gaming related bits as well. First thing I wanted to show, in fact I'll talk about what's behind me. So I've shown the orange GameCube before, but I don't think I'd shown off the box. What's more important is the contents, but the box looks bloody lovely. It's in really good condition. I wanted something to be able to protect it, so I won't grab it off the shelf now. I'll probably just put some close-ups in the corner, but went to a company that produced a really nice kind of custom display case for it. Really kind of cheap in terms of the price, but really good value. Very well made. So I got one for that, and with it I got a box controller as well. So I got a bit of Perspex for that, and then I developed a Perspex, I don't know, addiction. And the next thing I ended up grabbing, which is kind of a ready-made example, through a company called Gaming Displays. But yeah, they do all sorts. But for maybe some of the pricier games that I've got, I thought these would be fairly good. So like 3D printed stuff. You've got a 3D printer, you can really do your stuff at home. But I do not, and I do not have any of those skills. And they also do, which I thought was pretty cool, some little stands as well for like controllers, and you can kind of customize them. And so I got one for Finn, one for my son, which is around the Space Jam kind of theme for him to put his little Xbox controller on, and then I got one for me for my GameCube controller. So it's really bloody geeky, but just so we got them on the side, we can show our controllers off. So again, if I remember, I'll put pictures around there of those two, because they're downstairs at the moment. So some gaming containers, and then in terms of the games themselves, I kind of group them together by system, but in no particular order of system. So I mean, the first one for the Xbox, I grabbed Aliens Firestorm. It's a pretty good game. It's fairly, I guess, repetitive in terms of like waves and waves and hordes of aliens, but just for a simple pick up and play, and a bit of a co-op type missions to just to go through and blast some, get dropped off on a planet or in a ship, and just to blast through some friggin' aliens and grab some weapons, and kind of just fighting some big bad boy or bad woman girl aliens as well, because there's some big mothers in this one. And yeah, it's just I quite enjoy it. It's fairly, I think I got it through Amazon. Wasn't particularly, maybe it dropped in price, wasn't particularly expensive. I've had loads of fun with this one. Quite enjoy it. Next one, so Nate, aka the Game Shack, keeps going on at me about this game, and it's one of his favourite games, and yeah, it's kind of come out again recently on the Xbox, but originally I think it was the Xbox 360. I got it on that. I was like, yeah, no, I'm going to play it. Didn't get around to it. It's now come out on the more modern kind of remastered version. So Alan Wake. So I know a few channels have been doing like let's play and play through, and I haven't got the skills to be able to stream it and stuff. But I will. Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to giving this one a shot. I spent a lot of time recently on Metroid Dread, which I've developed a claw hand off the back of that, so I'm now back for some easy Mario / Sonic, some gentle platformers. But yeah, sooner rather than later, I want to get back into something else. So that could be next on the list. And then Gordon, Gib84, and again, I'm sure most, not all of you, follow him, subscribe to him. But if you don't, then again, details will be below. But yeah, he's been raving about this one. Sonic Racing, which is completely passed me by, but it looks blooming awesome. Obviously all the kind of Sega Sega characters. I think there's even a bit of, you know, like the Afterburner playing as well. So yeah, looking forward to that. I can't remember. I think it's either a CX. No, it's sealed. It can't be sealed. It's probably like an Amazon one, but again, I don't remember spending much on it. It's pretty, yeah. It's been out a little while, but yeah, good fun. I'm sure once I get onto that. Next up, GameCubes, obviously Japanese GameCube and all that jazz, but I needed a way to play my Game Boy Advance games on the big screen, and because I've got the Game Boy adapter, which I can plug into kind of my Retron, whatever it is, Super Trio. In fact, it's not Retron, Super Trio HD, so I can play my Game Boy and Game Boy Color games through that. I can't play Game Boy Advance, but through the Game Boy Player that sits under that bad boy, I can do that. And I was struggling to get the orange one, but you know what? A bit of black and orange. Orange is the new black or whatever. I'm no design genius. My colour scheme arrangements are always a bit piss poor. Can't even dress myself. But I think orange and black is an acceptable combo, so, and an acceptable price. So this is what I got. And it's yeah, pretty cool. The box is in okay condition. It's a bit kind of battered, but I was mainly after its innards. So you need that, but you also need the and some of the people on eBay and the rest of the place are cheeky monkeys, and they kind of sell that, but you need the disc as well to put into the GameCube. Without that, it's not going to do anything. But you can play as long as you've got the right disc for the right player. So you need the Japanese disc for the Japanese player. Then I believe you can play, you know, any GBA cart from any region. It's not like I don't think GBA is kind of don't quote me, but I don't believe it's kind of locked in. So I've tried tried an array of games and they've all worked fine. They've been pretty good fun, to be honest. So that's cool. And then Retro and Import Gamer, the cracking guy that he is, he's done loads of, you know, import related, you know, collection videos, some pickups, but mainly collection videos. And he spoke about a few, which I grabbed. One of them, you can get this on PAL as well, Beautiful Joe, which is really nice. I mean, like all the bloody Japanese box art is just fantastic. Yeah, you get the little box inside. It's like, I mean, look at that. The manual's not coming out. You slide it in. Sega should have taken a bit of a lesson off the back of this. Got some other little gump in there. So yeah, Beautiful Joe. Haven't even taken this one out of the cling film. So this is Adventure Island, and as far as I understand it, this is kind of has the original workings of Wonder Boy. So I think Hudson and Sega went away, and they were kind of, you know, trying to develop Wonder Boy, but then I think I think the actual rights had actually been given to Sega as opposed to Hudson. Hudson had to change a few bits, but like I say, largely the mechanics are fairly similar. So they changed the title and a few other odds and sods. So it's kind of not a cheap game. I did put in like a bit of a cheeky offer on eBay, as I do now. I think whenever there's like a best offer thing, you got to put an offer in. You can't just do the pay it now, because it's surely the seller has to select that they want to give an offer out. So my view is always go in with a bit of a cheeky one and see how you get on. On occasion, they don't know, they go under the sand or whatever, like an ostrich. On other occasions, they might, you know, counter. And I think you get like two or three goes to put forward bids. And on this occasion, they were just like, yeah, that's fine. And I was like, blimmin' heck. So yeah, looking forward to. Actually, I haven't even opened this one, so I need to play this. The amount of games I need to play is going like that. I need to stop buying, but hopefully through, like, you know, Christmas and Halloween and all that malarkey, other distractions and other things that need paying will have stopped me. So yeah, so that's that. And I think, to be honest, probably more the box art than the games could be crud, but the box art for these two are brilliant. One, in fact, is yeah, it's a Gundam game, and the other one is Zoids. But they're just like blooming brilliant. I'll just pick one. So I had a couple of Zoids as a kid, like the small ones, like yeah, you probably remember, kind of little mechanical, like wind up robots. I think you used to get some little, maybe I'm wrong, but like some little kind of gold or silver men that used to pilot them, used to sit inside. Got the manual the wrong way around. But yeah, Tomy made them. Good old Tomy. So that's that. And then if we move away from Nintendo and GameCube, and yeah, a few kind of Master System games, I'll be honest, I've been getting really, really into it. Spurred on by Ollie and the Sega Master System Challenge and the other competitors, because it's a healthy kind of competition, albeit with some I do so badly. I just kind of crash on the leaderboard, or crash if it's a flying game or whatever, or a car game. But yeah, I've kind of really been kind of growing out the collection. This is, I think, like I've said before, this is kind of my third time I've been collecting for Master System, because like I'm numpty, I've kind of sold on the system, or needed to sell it for money, or it's just yeah, kind of just sold as part of an upgrade to, you know, Master System Mega Drive, or whichever. I think I went that way as opposed to Master System to SNES. So the first one, in fact, is from the most recent Master System Challenge, and I was in Retro Hunter looking for it, couldn't see it, and I get on really well with kind of Ali, and he's like, look, we were talking about Star Wars and other bits, he's got so much stuff in there, he's like, I need to show you the stock room. And it was like bloody Aladdin going into the cave and looking around. I was like, holy shit. But there was like tubs of, well, games everywhere, but like, and toys, and there was everything. And but yeah, tubs of Master System games. At the front of one of the Master System ones, this game was sitting, and it wasn't out in the shop. So Transbot. And Ali's like, no, it's not out in the shop because there's no manual. As you probably would have, there's a lot of people I know on the tube, particularly around here, that go to that to Ali's, to Retro Hunter, and you know, going about the quality of what the guy kind of sells. And it's mainly because the stuff he puts out front is top drawer, and there are probably what he'd deem to be a, I don't know, kind of a B movie in toy terms out the bat. So no manual, but it's a fairly kind of cheapy game, no hang tab, but I was after it for the cart, which I got, and so I said, yeah, you know, how much would you sell it to me for? And he was like, no, just have it. I know it's not like an expensive game, but really nice, blooming generous gift, and I think it's like all this commonsensical, isn't it? But just good to kind of build up a good relationship with your local place, and you're doing a win-win. I mean, I go in there, haven't been there for a little while, but typically be like once a month. I'll come in, probably spend a good amount of money. I'd much rather buy from him if he's got something in versus CX or elsewhere, because he would have, he's done the testing. It's normally better quality. The price is good. Whatever's normally on there. If you buy a few things, always get the. I know it's not just specific to me, because like Rodgy goes in there a fair bit, but Rob Essex Retrogamer as well. But he'll always get the calculator out, and you'll get a nice little discount at the end. So but no, thanks Ali, if you're watching, appreciate you giving me that one. Next one up, got Vigilante, and this is purely driven by nostalgia, because I had this back in the day. My mum and dad basically said, which game, do you get to pick a game for Christmas, and this was probably like October, it felt like it was September, October time, maybe it was close to Christmas. So they bought this game, and it felt like I was waiting for an eternity to get it. And I must admit, when I did get it, I was a tad disappointed, and I think that's because I had some other brilliant action games like Shinobi versus this. It's kind of no kind of contest, but a bit of nostalgia. It wasn't much money. Knocks the car out. Manuals in kind of okayish conditions. This isn't an alley, this is an eBay job. So yeah, Vigilante, another Master System Challenge. This is one of my favourite blooming games, Fantasy Zone, and I've got it on a few other flavours. I think most recently, albeit it was probably yeah, I think it was earlier this year on the Astro City Mini. They've got like the arcade version, but fantastic. Shoot 'em up. Just like really nice and almost like kind of that parodious look and feel. You know, cheery kind of enemies as one could expect, but you know, nice kind of bright colours, very simple gameplay. You go left, right. You know, take out all the big bosses. You've got shops for power ups, which I think gives the game a bit of, you know, depth and variety. It's not the same every time you play it. I've never completed it. I know that it's an only revived. Andy, I think it's part of the Master System Challenge, but also as part of prior videos, I'm sure he's whopped the ass out of this game. There's a few mega people that know how to play this properly. I do not, but I enjoy it. I really do. And then, yeah, some I wouldn't say like big hitters, but excuse me, probably some more expensive titles. Superman. I won't open. I think most of these are complete, but like a nice manual on him. You got Betty Horde. So Bill was, I think he was playing Road Rush 2 on the Mega Drive as one of his kind of, you know, 10-minute specials. A really good series where he plays a game for 10 minutes, almost, you know, not first impressions, or, you know, how does it play through. And I'm not one, I probably haven't got the time, but equally I haven't got the patience to watch long, you know, massive like playthroughs. So a 10-minute thing like that is the perfect series, which kind of triggered me to then look at my Master System collection and say, oh, I got like Road Rush, which I didn't. But like, nice box art, but it breaks all the Sega branding rules, I'm sure, in terms of, you know, I've got just the white grid. Like one of the cleanest manuals, and even the cart as well, which is pretty cool. Let's rearrange these because it's bloody Halloween, isn't it? Addams Family, which again, been wanting to get this one in for some time. Very clean manual. I think my luck's about to run out on manuals. By probably, yeah, this one, yeah, it's got manuals. One of the next ones doesn't. Again, this one's going out. I would sort of try and grab it whilst I can. I need to swap the case because the hangtail's been circumcised. It's been snipped. But yeah, game manual. You know, probably not as good as the other ones, but still fairly decent. Yeah, a bit of Ray and Egon. Ghostbusters. Pretty cool. I've never played the Master System version. Had it on the Specky back in the day. Did love it. I've no idea. Maybe it's completely different to that. The map saying, no, it looks like there's some similarities, but we'll see how we do. Bit of the manual. And then the final one, which is unfortunately without manual. I don't know if I'm going to need to kind of upgrade, or to find a standalone manual might be mission impossible. But yeah, Incredible Hulk. Again, I do find it not funny, but it's just odd how some Master System games are they stay true, and then others, particularly where they're kind of licensed or linked to Marvel or you know, kind of a film franchise, that they just do whatever they want to do. That is it. And then trying to think, yeah, I got latest edition of Retro Gamer. Obviously the Evercade VS, which has been delayed a little bit. I think those of us in UK hopefully will still be getting it this side of Christmas. I know a few folk in US and Canada may be unfortunately waiting a bit longer due to logistics and COVID and probably transporting issues and everything else that the world unfortunately it seems to be chucking at it. But that said, in my opinion, the guys at Blaze have done a really good job in terms of progressing this very, very quickly. The innards of this, the actual user kind of system, user interface even, is, you know, it's a complete revamp from the VS handheld. In fact, the VS handheld, sorry, the Evercade handheld is getting a revamp as well, so they're kind of reworking through that. But I think I've gone for the pre-order of the Founders kind of edition, because I do love my Evercade and the handheld, so I wanted to get on board with the Founders. You do get all of like the arcade games. That just ensures that, as well as getting you get the black console, I think you get your name in the one of the screens if you go into there, but more importantly you get loads of like the arcade games, so it basically ensures that my currently complete collection remains complete, just to keep my OCD in check, which is nice. There's a few bits in here. I know John Crazy Burger did a little snippet from here to show that as part of the VS, if you lift up the bonnet, loads of you already know this, but there's two cart slots, and if you put in a combination of games, you can unlock other things. So you put in you know, 2 whatever carts, and then on the UI, on the user interface, you know, up pops another game that you wouldn't have seen previously. I'm assuming it kind of, you know, downloads it through and unlocks it. But yeah, a bit of retro gamer, but more not necessarily plugging the magazine. It's more about the VS, and just looking forward to that. And one final game related thing, just so we can do a bit of We Will Rock You over the weekend. But yeah, GameCube, Donkey Kong, the Conga Pack. So and this one was, I'll try and get a little bit. This quite, again, it's a fairly good light condition. Obviously that's the it's the kind of surround, which helps kind of protect the main thing. Then you got the bongos and the game in there. You know what, I'm quite looking forward to it. Like I say, after the stresses of, stressful enjoyment of Metroid Dread, where you kind of, by the end of it, you're using all your fingers, you've got the kind of calluses, claw hand, and all the rest of it. A couple of little bongos. That's got to be plain sailing, isn't it? We'll see about that. I'm sure I'll be yeah. I'm sure I'll be trumping it, but we'll give it a go. Well, that, my friends, is the games. So not a whole load going down in terms of toys, but I've got to say this one, in my opinion, is fairly special. So it's from a local toy place I've been going to literally genuinely since I was a kid. Used to get like my early Star Wars figures there with my old man, and they've been kind of handed off through the generations, but always, like, you know, really well aligned to the latest, you know, kind of trends and toys and fads and things that people are going to love. So they cater for obviously kids and children, but also for big kids and adults like me. So one of the many ranges that they've recently been doing is getting the Masters of the Universe, like the Origins series in, and they've also got the Revelations in, but I'm not a massive fan of that series. Check out the other video, and also the figures as well. I mean, they look okay, but I do feel that I could probably, to re-quote myself, but yeah, He-Man's cranium is a bit disproportional. It's really tiny. Him, Skeletor, compared to the rest of the body, it just looks absolutely ridiculous. So anyway, that to one side. Origins range, and they're just like a revamp of the originals, as much as they possibly can in terms of the card back, the figures. They even peed around with He-Man and Skeletor's faces, because there's some feedback, some good credible feedback from the toy community, whatever you want to call them, saying, look, these aren't reflective of how they were back in the day. And yeah, fair play to Mattel. They then they did a second wave, where they kind of re-released them with the corrected facial features. So whenever a new wave comes in, and I don't collect like all of them, but whenever a new wave comes in, Paul runs the toy shop, gets in touch, and he's like, look, we've got them in, put some aside, do you want? And this time round, similar thing kind of happened, but when like the picture came over, I was like, there's something about this isn't doesn't look quite right. And within a millisecond, I realised what it was, and it's a miscard basically. So, you know, you got the figure on the wrong card back, or the wrong, you know, card back against the figure. There's something has gone wrong in the factory. I don't know if it's kind of, you know, one would like to think it's a bit automated run by machines. Either the machine's screwed up, or one of the nice human beings has had a bit of a Larry laugh with it. But they said, look, we've got this in. And so this was like Friday night, and then I was like, I'm going to come in Saturday to get it. It's like, yeah, put it to one side. I get in there, and he's off sick. He's unwell. He's got a bit of a cough, and I'm like, geez, well, you know, where's this figure? And they couldn't, you know, it wasn't behind the back or kept to one side. So I went to the shelf, and it was there sitting right in the middle of the shelf, and I was like, I'll have that one. And that one is this. So it is He-Man himself. As you can see, it's on a Teela card back with, I think, a Teela comic as well behind. So yeah, these things kind of happen. It's kind of unpunched, and the rest of it. These cap, and they do. I don't know if you compare it to a few other series, particularly the Star Wars ones, where there's kind of miscards and other things. They normally command a bit more money because obviously they're rarer, a variance of some degree, I guess. But in other respects, it's just a bit of a screw up, a bit of a cock up. But when they're new and they kind of display nice, yeah, I just had to, being, you know, really into the Origins range as well, I had to kind of jump all over this. You're getting major glare in it probably, and apologies for that. But the cards, like most of these things, they're fairly like vulnerable with that bit sticking out. So I went to, it was about £2 or £3. We paid as much for the blooming P&P, but a company called Deflector, I don't know if you can see it, Deflector DC. So you got a UK based company, and they all sorts of figures they do these. It's not like, you know, thick perspex or anything, but it's a, you know, tough enough kind of plastic, so if it kind of falls, drops, it's not going to get battered, you're not going to get it chipped at the corner, apart from a little bit of so it's coming away in the corner, slightly bent around. Apart from that, it's in perfect condition. Like I say, even the, you know, the hang tab bit is unpunched, and you've got more Teela on the back. So yeah, chuffed to. They know me well in the shop. I'm not, you know, a bit of a prick that would want to buy it to kind of, you know, sell it on and the rest of it. Like, I think I'm a bit of a genuine kind of collector, and yeah, just more interested in the item and the rarity, and just chucking it into this ever-growing collection. So yeah, so I did get two of these. I got one for, obviously, for this fella, if he is a fella, and then one for Scareglow as well, which you probably can't just outshot up there, but I love that Scareglow figure is super awesome, and even through the light up there on it, say in an evening, as soon as you turn it off, it's properly, you know, proper glow in the dark. I remember as a kid, it was glow in the dark stuff, and it's like, even if you're in, you know, Harry Potter's bloody broom cupboard with all the lights, you could barely see like a little tinge of green, but this, he properly lights up. So yeah, loving him. But this, top stuff, and that is the toy. And before we close, I just want to do a quick couple of shout outs. Two shout outs. The first one is to the Hobby Lodge, and this guy is, yeah, fantastic. He's in a lodge, or it looks like he's in a bit of a kind of, you know, outbuilding, but it's decked out with loads of creative bits and video games and stuff. So very I'd say like diverse, but a really good selection of kind of video content. There's some bits in there where he focuses, for example, on, you know, little figures like Games Workshop bits and kind of painting, then real like creative stuff. But also he's really into like his video games. So he does like a Let's Play series, which I think comes out on a Monday, and also, I mean, he's into lots of Sega coming through at the moment, which kind of ticks a lot of my boxes. So, you know, a few pickups, going through Dreamcast games, Saturn games. So for all you kind of retro gamers and toy lovers, he'll probably tick both boxes as he does with myself. That's number one. Really good channel. Go and check it out. Details below as always. The second one, this guy contacted me originally through Instagram, and we had quite a bit of banter one one evening. Really nice guy, and he's called the Padawan Collector, and he's basically documenting him trying to collect the Star Wars kind of full vintage set. So that's everything, I guess, from the beginning up to would it include Power of the Force? I think he's like 1977 to 1985. But really, really cool. So he's got some of the the fundamentals in there in terms of he talks through the figures he's going to go after. He talks about his personal kind of stories and nostalgia. If anyone else wanted to get involved in that stuff already is a collector, then there's a few handy tools. So for example, a really nice kind of checklist which you can kind of grab and tick off, which he's made and is kind of readily available for nothing. Just kind of puts stuff out there. He talks about some rarer figures. He talks about more expensive figures, but very nicely kind of polished in terms of presentation skills. Very well kind of edited. A lovely kind of series. Really, really good. So it's worth a watch. And again, details will be below. And that's it, my friends. Hope you enjoyed today's video. Have an awesome Halloween, whatever you get up to, trick-or-treating, watching scary movies, playing scary video games, or whatever. Just make sure you have a good one. If you're around next Thursday, would love to see you in the live stream with It's Much More and the rest of the gang. Again, details will be below for that. Probably be a slightly quieter couple of months, November and December, in terms of pickups, just because I've way overspent for this month, and Christmas and other clear priorities need to trump video games and toys just for a little bit. But that said, I'm sure I'll come up with some other interesting content to keep folk amused. And that's it. All the best. See you next time. Cheers.